for Newcastle, anyhow, tweaked substantially last weekend and went strong midweek in defence of the Carabao Cup. Today he restores Nick Pope in goal, 4 clean sheets in 5. The defensive formation is for the boss usefully unpredictable. 3 centre-halves, then Jacob Murphy would be right wing back, past fit as he nurses a fragile Achilles. Anthony Gordon's ban is over, so finally he can start a game together in the same 11 for the first time with Nick Voltemada. The bench has seats for would-be game-changers Barnes, Elanga, Osula, plus former Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. At a venue where he has repeatedly been stung, Mikel Arteta asks the following to grasp this nettle. David Raya has conceded fewer goals than any other keeper in the league. Ahead of him it's a back four incorporating Mosquera and Gabriel at the expense of William Saliba. Mikel Merino drops out of last weekend's midfield to accommodate Eberechi Eze excitingly. Captain Bukayo Saka begins a league game for the first time in more than a month with Moni Madueke injured. And Victor Gyökeres seeks his first goal on the road for the Gunners, leaving Gabriel Martinelli potentially to impact for the bench once more, with Saliba and notably with fit again Marcin Odegaard. So Gary puts it.
What a setting, sense of theatre.
Newcastle United and Arsenal. The atmosphere here is electric. Gordon! Newcastle United take the lead against Arsenal.
Won this corresponding fixture last season when Alexander Isak, now of Liverpool, scored the winning goal that day. Arsenal have lost on 4 of their last 5 visits here. The Newcastle fans want to make this as uncomfortable start as they can for the visitors.
Yes, absolutely. That's what they'll be looking from Newcastle. An early press, get the fans behind them, and obviously the message from Arteta is try and nullify the crowd as quickly as we can by controlling the game, getting chances in the final third. So that's what we'll be looking to do, and I'm really excited.
As Arsenal captain today, it's the 6th time Saka has captained Arsenal in the Premier League. Here he is, and immediately shut down by Joe Linton. And Bukayo Saka knows he's got to be extremely closely marked today.
Well, I think that gives us an insight. You've just mentioned it is a back 4. And what you're going to have to do, they're going to have to make sure that it's either Joe Linton or Tonali that comes across to make sure they've got a 2v1 against Saka at every opportunity in Newcastle. And if Anthony Gordon can't get back to help him out, because if they leave that one-on-one, Saka against Dan Burn, I think there's only going to be one winner.
Arsenal, the set-piece specialists, get an early free kick here. 90 seconds in. Declan Rice standing over it. Nice bend and whip, and a header down by Gyökeres. Lands at a comfortable height for Nick Pope.
Well, it's Declan Rice. You'll see the line there of Arsenal. What they try and do is just come in behind Newcastle's defensive line, but Newcastle, they weren't falling for that. They held a really, really good line there. That would have been given offside. But Declan Rice's delivery once again, it's impeccable.
Arsenal, if they are to make good on their grand ambitions, they've got to prove themselves in fixtures like this one, at away stadiums like this one, against the roar and the resistance of a Newcastle crowd that is just hell-bent on a home win today. Voltemada, very close attention there, Mosquera, who has impressed in what we've seen of him in Arsenal colours so far. Bruno Guimaraes. Botman, who played the full game against Bournemouth last weekend. It was only the 2nd time that he completed a full 90 minutes of the Premier League for Newcastle in a year and a half, Sven Botman. Joe Linton, closed down by Zubimendi, but Newcastle hold on to the ball.
I think if Newcastle, you can see the set up, the back 4, the midfield 3, the attacking 3. I don't think you're going to see Dan Burn bomb on as much down this left-hand side. I think it'll be Livramento linking up with Murphy on the opposite side. Dan Burn will be looking to do his defensive duties more often than not because of the pace of Saka.
Tabata picks out Murphy, and Calafiori is quick to put it out for a Newcastle throw. Before today, Ricardo Calafiori has had more shots in the Premier League this season than any other Arsenal player. For now, he's got to concentrate on his defensive duties. Long throws, which are very much in fashion at the moment in the Premier League. Livramento has some tall targets to aim at here. And the flick on ends up in the gloves of David Raya. It's great distribution. Gyökeres in pursuit, but too close to Nick Pope.
Yeah, I loved what you said there. It's back in fashion. It's good to see. It causes carnage in there. There's nothing worse. I used to play against Stoke City, and the amount of preparation that went into the week leading into the game against them. You used to have to put an ice pack on your head after the training session, because all it was launch the ball into the box, and sometimes you can do as much defend as you want, but it just causes so much carnage because you never know what's going to be the outcome.
Raya goes direct here. Looking for Trossard. Dominant header by Malik Chow. Zubimendi needs to tidy, picks out Timber. Glancing touch from Burn, sits up for Eze! And Arsenal's first big chance is saved away for a corner. Nick Pope with a very important save.
Well, Eze can't believe it, because as it falls to me, the first touch is magnificent. And then he tees it up and he sees the goal. He does everything right. He goes low and hard, back across goal. And Nick Pope at full stretch. That is an incredible save by the goalkeeper. Now, if you have a look at this, the angle, watch Nick Pope's reaction here as he watches it go past the post. I don't even think he realised how much he'd got on it.
Nick Pope, who has had the most clean sheets of all Premier League goalkeepers so far this season. That was a very impressive stop, but an early open chance for Arsenal.
Well, what a gorgeous day in Newcastle it is. It is the visit of Arsenal at St James's Park today, and a 4:30 kick-off, and the number 4 is quite significant to this fixture. You might have seen on the Newcastle socials the goal that secured a 4-4 draw against the Gunners way back then when Cheick Tiote scored it, and of course this was the scene earlier this year where Newcastle booked their place in the Carabao Cup final against Arsenal. I wonder what the score is going to be today.
Who's doing?